don't follow me that the Fred, the church, I'm a quaba, eba, the announcer newspaper. So, I watch me, my dear, watch me live. Ever YouTube, the announcer newspaper, or YouTube, go Facebook, so. Ubinya share the announcer newspaper, or Facebook. And so, I also, we, you can't say, Ghana, now, Bruchri, and I, de Bremo. Aha, Ura Mahama, Ofosu Ampofo, or more, America. And baby, I'm one and walk around. Few me can say I'm drive how many minutes na me wo ho me di kan catch them so mo ba na o maba na Ghana for na ekohia o mo no bebre na me ka some disappointed papa o my disappointed because at this if wo bo adoma no e ma o mo kokohia no e ma o mo kotena ase kokasai na disappointment na wo mo aye no Ghana for ma na wo o mo kotie Ofosu Ampofo Mahama nsema mo kan. In fact, omani anye kura. Every say wohwema edem ho no nipa maako mienu bi na obobo mo nsem ewo ho a na omabo agye so ewo ho a na omo abo agye so oh ye na omabo agye so but amanfo ye very disappointed pa ye because na omunim say in fact said ye na do kire every before kire so mabu oman no ene me koyie na Mahama ba ye wonye hwe ye nyina ye kura ye kan bi se obetena akonya so wanye hwe no na omunim senka omu betima kire say at least Mahama so betena akonya so no ye we but the air cost nyina na kwese say MPP niema a wo mo ye no eno na Mahama edi ne din abebata ho say ono ne hya ase Zaba bebe na okachire omo. Etinam say, Mahama de nidia be bata ho se. Eye railway system a koso a na Dubai ya. Odwe ne Ghana ho se opese. Ode railway lines ni nyina ye adwuma kopaga ko baabi ahodo bebre no. Enora wo mo ti wo se wo mo na de bae. Na mo say, na ne assemble grade. Bibia mo na mo de bae. Everything mo na mo de na mo say, na ne this for pa Mahama ti wo bi o. And no, some of us are for kind, me toss and I'm a home so. I don't for them almost a church in Simuna Ghana Funtia. Over example for Ezima watching it and say, even say Kumasi Airport, our Moyen, the Mobile International Airport, just over example for Kasach said, Mahama Dasotia Kunyaso, Mahama Sunia Kunyaso. What if ye Unia Kunyaso, on T Akunyasu be? And I am in one was say, and this for and trouble be catch this for what Aburuchino. In fact, and Ram is a family palm. The Bassa Ghana for Mutia Kakra. Over some of some of crime with the Muntia Kakra. Now the moon, one with the Muntia and Tron Kakra. I'm not Ghana for war America and this for no. Not more hope, or more shia, but more hope to say beer. At least, omoko shia wa mo obisi Mahama Massachusetts na am na mka asa Mahama eba Massachusetts na meka e me so Boston me na meka kire mu nya me na meka e so oba Boston but and then me hun caption bi na caption bi a obi atro obesire obisi Daddy Fred show omo de me di na abebata ho Daddy Fred medwane free US na Mahama no ba e de say boss am say waache Mahama you mo ba nipa 1 2 3 o count to nipa ekochia no wo betime de wani account to nipa just o mo nkai no kra wo mo nkai no so abedi o mampanyi da o mo nkai no because o mo kai no so de dum so bre Ghana o mo ahokyere ba Ghana enti o mo kai na e den o mo nkai no enti na e che say ekeye oyo obi a na nka akonya no odi ye don kototo niema yi a nka oba yi oba Boston ke nyina edi akire kama me kran ka ba cover story no na me de aba na ma beka ni yi akire mu because say de me aka sa bi duadue mu a intelligence mi wurawura mu no ma wo say nipa anko ena okasa aye no so no wanti ma anya asem papa bi anka nkire Ghana wo mo say e-levy abeye de so aso Ghana for kon ena e-levy ena mo mpese omo de mo position Ofosu Ampofo position mo de nyeku no mo pe no mo de ebo constitution ho ban na mo de nyeku no mo pe mo te ho vema wo na onye Mahama ni chief of staff ba ko no Raymond Atubuga na onye Mahama chief of staff ba ko no omo nyina ku asem na omo ka ye nim se ka Mahama kra be condemn what is Mahama bie na no condemn da afi na mu hu de mo ye ye koso nyina no mo ba abrochire mebo a mo kasa no mo za abrochire enkura di mpadifo atem wo abrochire da bi esuma soa manfo agu social media so mo ni Ghana mpadifo atem mo se mo do Ghana mo pese mo ye Ghana yie NDC enra Ofosu Ampofo o kasa na manfo abebinim kura sere no ebinim chese na in fact na arebo me am a record pa because based on said the senior information no in fact me record because me na me say at the end of the day say wo mo se mo kakra mo nyentum kra na mo de mo shada anye so na mo nyentum kakra na wo mo kwa na mo make mo decision de moye na muntie me ba abebo Ofosu Ampofo na nsem ni bi na me pesa mo tem aso NDC party chairman na nsem o kan ye no me pesa mo tem aso pa yi na mutie na me mbokese me mbokese because electoral commission akoto Ghana. Could you imagine say Ofosu Ampofo say 2022 abatoɔ no enya de say 2020 abatoɔ no o man lose Ofosu Ampofo no also man lose abatoɔ no na me say na nemre moda so ka say man lose abatoɔ international observers all over the world abehwesa abatoɔ the French electoral commission obi as organize abatoɔ free and fair and orderly manner. Bibia conference etrobia bibia ye kama na ene Ofosu Ampofo obeka se man lose elections no na moko Supreme Court moko ye den moko Supreme Court no moko se enka Supreme Court nyemontum sama we ne mo fa evidence bra man fa evidence ama muni evidence mo se man lose elections na wanya Ghana phobia omo tete ama no ne mo ne mo left and right na omu twantro we chem na mo giadi ebra wonim se in some trofo call all polling stations ekwo share abato so omu koye observers in some trofo omu report from various polling stations and the electoral commission the ba nyina ya adekro ni nyina the same na motiwo na musisi na omu kasa asem we chirem na mo gidi hwe me ya ka chire mo se me dey me dead say eno omu ko share NDC fo no ebinuma who say na say party we no budi akire because omu dey the papa bia ka kire Ghana e na enton chenso no sa party na akasa no omu ni policy bia ene omu be kase MPP any initiative na do ni initiative bia asem be badabi asem be badabi me be ba Ofosu Ampofo se bo kan ene muntie muntamaso na muntie me yen favor na gbo no matie na fe mutia na wa ye analysis enya me that friend me ka cho ye wa analysis na wa bu ye analysis wi a na wa conclude because the person be bebo na wa ye analysis na be party e wudi akire enya me na me ka akire wo akasa wo be hu party na wudi akire se de omusitie the so omu se de omusitie a na fe wa make decisions bi e wo abrabo Ofosu Ampofo say on the abano o man lose you na me say
Your Excellency
mutie
John Dramani Mahama, a hope of Ghanaians to come. Everybody is expecting, and the hope of Ghanaians is that NDC will come back again to rescue Ghana from the hands of this super incompetent Akufo-Addo government.
Super incompetent.
I send you fraternal greetings from the National Democratic Congress headquarters in Accra, and from our gallant members of parliament, leadership and members of parliament who have been raising the flag of the NDC very high and fighting on behalf of Ghanaians. Our MPs are standing in the gap for Ghanaians. But without them, we don't know where this country would have been. And I want, on your behalf, to salute them for the great work that they are doing for us. It is exciting for me to see the energy, the enthusiasm, and the joy that is written on your faces.
Ofosu Ampofo na ekasa.
That is how I feel in my heart. Because I always feel that if the President John Dramani Mahama was to establish a church, I would have gladly gone to join the church because I always see him as a prophet.
Ose Mahama will see him say we're a prophet.
Let me
Prophet
Mahama decided to go and hide
prophet
himself among the members.
Mahama.
Ambassador,
Okay.
Honorable Ambassador Sita Okankwe is here.
Prophet Mahama. Okay.
I know the name has changed somehow, but forgive me. I'm calling you the name that I know you for. Around 2007.
2007, okay.
I was in the US here to inaugurate the tri-states of Washington, Virginia, and Maryland. And around that time, I think Honorable Satepe was by then working with the World Bank, or IMF. And we had the privilege of visiting him and that of Madam Mamle Kofi, who later on became Ghana ambassador to China.
Okay.
And the numbers that we had and subsequent meetings of the US chapter, comparing it to what we are seeing today, I would say that the party has come a very long way. And I want to congratulate the chapter.
Oh, not personally there. Ofosu Ampofo na also because I
also remember
when
the NDC North America, made up of Canada and the US, were together, and the name was NAC, North America Coordinating Committee. And as a national organizer by then, together with the then Director of International Relations, Honorable Kofi Ato, we decided that in order to expand and decentralize the work of the party, there was a need for us to break Canada from the US. It was a very tough battle. It was resisted very fiercely, but we're determined because we thought that the party was growing in the diaspora, and there was a need for us to decentralize the activities of the party and enable them to grow. Today, I think we have not regretted taking that decision. Canada is on its own, and US is growing in leaps and bounds. So we are here, first of all, to appreciate you and thank you for the contribution that you've been making towards the party.
All right,
especially
USNDC for
before, and after the 2020 elections.
Okay.
I always want to say emphatically that the NDC never lost the 2020 elections.
So what? Was it NDC 2020 elections, you know, or more and lose? So what? Okay.
And in 2020, the NDC did what has not happened in the political history of Ghana since the Fourth Republican Constitution was birthed. We moved our parliamentary seats from 106 to 137. But that 137 is even an imaginary 137 because we believe that we would have crossed the 140 margin. We are still in court battling a number of the constituencies today. President John Dramani Mahama appreciated his votes from 4.8 million votes in 2016 to almost 6.3 million votes in 2020. That quantum jump has never been experienced in the history of Ghana democracy. We capped it all by getting Honorable ASK Gbagbe elected as the Speaker of Ghana's Parliament. The first time in history where a party that did not form government has produced a Speaker of Parliament.
Okay, so
it tells you the kind of work that we did together with all of you to bring the party to where we are now. But for the unanimous 7, do you know that team? Perhaps the story would have been different. But let me hasten to say that on the day of the declaration of the results, whether by accident or by design, I found myself in the house of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. At the time that I entered the house, I was going to give him briefing on some anomalies that we have detected and which required that we call the Electoral Commission's attention to it. When I entered his house, I met Rojo Metelunu and Pesa White, the two of them, who had just entered and had not even declared their mission. So I joined them and he offered us seat. The moment we sat, we saw Jim Mensah declaring the results of the election. We were very surprised because this is a woman who has prepared the International Conference Center as the venue for the declaration of the results. And both international media and local media and everybody, including political parties, were waiting to be ushered into the place for the declaration. While she was declaring the results, nobody knows. But she was declaring. And she declared. And I was sitting behind His Excellency, and I told him that I don't know why God brought me close to you at this time. But I'm not a prophet like you, but for now, I'll prophesy over you. And so I did a prophecy. And I told him that the journey of the Israelites from Egypt to Canaan would have taken a very short time, less than 1 month for them to traverse. But it took 40 years. God had a purpose. So they had to go through a very circuitous process to get to the promised land. So I told His Excellency that God has a purpose. Let the woman go ahead and announce the results. But one day you understand why God didn't make you president this time. And at the appropriate time, the good Lord Himself will put you on the throne. In fact, events after that has really proven that me too, if I establish a church, which is today, Ghanaians are crying for John Mahama to come back. And the biggest worry of Ghanaians is that, can we wait? And I keep on telling them that if you remember, during our campaign launch in Cape Coast Sports Stadium, I was offered a platform and I said something around that time. And I'll say it in Twi. Say, Abamowe and this is Sanfo na your country. Now, Abamowe dear, so we cannot for a mistake. Now to aba boni. Now what the man on Mampenino Betranswa. We don't want to fear for 4 years. Whether you like it or not, you have to wait for the 4 years. So I want to state categorically clear here that we in the NDC, we are Democrats. The 1992 Constitution was conceived and birthed by us. Today, those who are running to the Supreme Court to defend the Constitution, they ran away from the Constituent Assembly, which actually promulgated the 1992 Constitution. Today, they are the people who are running helter-skelter to defend the Constitution which they ran away from. We birthed that Constitution. And for that matter, we will be the last to do anything to undermine that constitutional order. We are not interested in coup d'etat.
Okay, not
we
interested.
are interested in using the democratic process of using the time of the people to remove Nana Akufo-Addo and incompetent Bawumia from office and form the new government.
Okay, let's write it down. Incompetent.
That is why, after we lost the election, we did not sleep on our hours. We have been working very, very hard. We've crisscrossed the country. We have undertaken a major retreat to review the election and to see our strengths and weaknesses and try and address the challenges that confronted us during the elections. We have subsequently done regional retreats. We have done youth retreats. We have done women retreats. We have analyzed the results. We have virtually done everything to prepare ourselves strategically moving into the 2024 elections. And I want to assure you that recently we also engaged in national outreach programs, which has taken us to 15 out of the 16 regions. We are left with Eastern region. When we go back, we'll go and complete Eastern region. And then the party National Executive Committee will be meeting to draw up the timetable for reorganization of the party from the branches through the wards, through the constituencies, through the regions, and eventually conduct our national elections for national officers. And when that timetable is being drawn, the International Relations Director will factor the timetable for our diasporan branches also into it, so that you know also how to go about getting your new officers elected. I am here to say thank you to all of you, those of you who came personally to support the campaign, and those who also supported us in kind, in logistics, those who adopted constituencies, those who adopted branches, those who, remitted the various people who were working for us. We are grateful to you, and the party say thank you and big ayuko to all of you.
All right.
What we are doing as a party now is to get everybody on board and to make sure that everybody plays a role in our quest to win the 2024 elections. Our MPs are working very hard. We have a hang parliament of 137, 137. As for me, I don't believe we have majority or minority, because my mathematics tells me that 137 is equal. And so we prefer to call our people the NDC side of the parliament as against the MPP side of the parliament. And our parliamentarians, led by Haruna Bisu and his team, have been working very, very, very hard. As we sit here now, EWP has become an albatross that they want to hang around the neck of Ghanaians. And the position of the NDC is very simple. The government of Nana Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia have enjoyed the largesse of power than any other government in terms of influence of resources. And they have not been able to manage the resources of the country very well. In fact, in the last Auditor General report, about 12.38 billion cannot be accounted for. Today, as we speak to you, statutory funds that the Constitution itself mandates the government to take from the consolidated fund and pay to the Disassembly Common Fund, the GET Fund, the NHIS Fund, and others. They have violated the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana to the extent that even if they are not going into those statutory funds. And today, when the NDC can boast that under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we built and expanded the infrastructure of our country. Today,
infrastructure.
the Kotoka International Airport is a showpiece for everybody. Today, as a result of the visionary leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, our Muslim brothers and sisters are able to take off from Tamale International Airport to go to what we call Mecca and then come. Today, those of you who are Kumasi can comfortably eat your fufu in the evening and then slowly drive to the airport to go and take flight in the night, something that used not to be the case until President Mahama came in. We developed the airport infrastructure, and those of you who know today, there are flights between Accra, Wa, and Accra and Ho. Yeah. So, as I speak to you now, our seaport, which have not experienced any major rehabilitation, has been given a facelift by President John Dramani Mahama. And I was privileged to be appointed as the board chairman for Ghana Port and Harbours Authority. And I can attest to the work that we did under his instruction and turned around the fortunes of Ghana Port and Harbours Authority. Today, we have one of the modern ports in the whole Africa belt in Ghana through His Excellency's leadership. That port is also undergoing an expansion project. If you hear that there is a new railway line being constructed from Tema Port to Ofosu Port through Pakistan, it is the vision of His Excellency. I was there, so I know what is involved. Everything, the funding was secured, everything was done before we left office. So we keep on asking the Nana Akufo-Addo and government that what new initiative have they taken?
New initiative.
But for John Dramani Mahama, COVID would have swollen Ghana, what we call it, swallowed Ghana when the pandemic struck. Now, because of his leadership and his vision, he decided to put up state-of-the-art hospitals. And which, when you enter which hospital, it is comparable to any international hospital you can see anywhere. If you go to the University of Ghana Medical Center, and that is where the MPP people were running to when COVID catches them. They run to the place. When you ask the health minister, he says he's going on vacation. It is only Ghana that health ministers go on vacation in our hospital facility. So we are here to encourage you and to say that we're proud to be a member of the NDC.
All right, I don't for them. Martin Sema Ofosu Ampofo Mahama. Now, MCC or Kasa to say, as a still na no party no, and a tiakunya so to say the Mahama and a tiakunya so. And then some of my TV. And come on, Mona Medema no bekan ya. Come o mutimi twan kuntumpu na ma kuntumpu no kura sensu. Muni akunya so. O si today, wa mu ye railway e mu na mu ye. Mo na mo initiate today mo na mo see hospital we nya sa aka COVID so mo ni asem bia ka kire Ghana da bia ya na me ka kire mo se omo betena akonya so no mo pinpoint ade a omo betena akonya so mo ye infrastructure development dey say aban bia ba wo ye bi aban bia ba infrastructure e core e wo aban bia policies mo say obeya akwan we be ye nkanea we be ye nsu e ni nyina aka ho infrastructure development, but policies ni programs bang interventions bang na mutimi di buwa enne Ghana for beti makase mutia konyas muja Ghana for saadi we aban be na ba won infrastructure development Dr. Kwame Nkrumah ba we yakoso ngoda tema habo infrastructure development the baby nanado a friend say nanado kra de infrastructure development Debia or Catesod, Obie we yano, Abie we yano, Bie we yano. A carbine bia said the Oka Bruchi, Woko baby or Bambia infrastructure development. Ain't the Anocras or Mutimi Kanto baby and Pidi and Omoye. No Mabetina could also 8 good years. What Babruchi, the Casa, the NDC for Wabruchi. Dia mo ye ne mo policies ne mo programs mo antimi anka NDC. Na me ka kyerem se Mahama oni ade papa bia ma Ghana. Afei mo maba Boston abrochire America. Ebra mo nim se abrochire infrastructure development yas me ya moken. Mo betina akonya so no. Eka yenim se bia ka mo betima yewe mo betima yewe mo antimi amfa infrastructure bia egu akwan mu ankyere se mo betima yewe ama Ghana man. Ye be na mutimi kae be question no. We nyame na daddy friend America parties chairman Ofosu Ampofo ne kasae. O kasa no na ke anticipate say policies be to say free senior high school ana na ado de aba no. Eko no so betima ka bi say omo so baaye no omu jade bi to Ghana for ho e benefit all Ghanaians. Yenim say ko be ka say youth employment program here omo be say no ko be chirichirim ko obo fa so say no na ado e di one district one factory na ko aka wase. Omo fra konya so no ambulances Mahama pension ambulances 54 and Ojama Ghana. Ghana population be kakraka. This big population no ambulances 54 say Ghana for nyina enyemfa. Obi yare obeda kwa yare sabia. Ene wona na bi yare a eno ane say okọ constituency bia ambulance of ya na aba. Na ado the ambulances more than 300,000 and akọ constituency akọ more than 300 and our constituencies be more than 300 and our constituencies be it show on penyina or to niema se be Ghana for betom na NDC for ba America ha mantima ka de NDC aye Ofosu Ampofo pa dimi anka de NDC aye eno ane railway line MP before ye no mo na mokoje hu sika mo na mokosensa ho nkrata nyina na monim kwa ye fa so ye ade. Yeah, about BS of a year, if it is a continuity. It is a baby bibi kakra no be to us. Sikana so to me confirm free heaven at the bay. Skana, a wohonu be no day. Yes, sir. Nana do she ye power can or your campaign and no more cassette, railway sector or mobile ye. And pass I don't know muyi. And pass on the create true do no more wojuma. Oh, said the Biani a catcher must say. Omunias and Papa Bia catch them. Yes, yeah, why America. And yet, say, or moon same way a mocha. Now, made the very disappointed, and they said, by Emma, they say, even or more call is your moon be the bidom Macassa said, in fact, or more very disappointed, pa, because no one said, and this party no with the actually not commit much lecture, the Emma or more bow or more bay, and now so more ye, pa, yet bet me dear, and the sack, and they bet me the Asocrat. Neither a bunch of money. I feel, what on a moody stable Ghana for me. Oh. Yeah, okay, you live Uba America. So what we say bridges a year, Juma. What we say acquired the dead. So what we say developments and the cost of America. America president in the second Yana. There be individuals, taxpayers' money, and on years are developmental projects. Taxpayers' money. Now those who are just to work no the abua my Ghana, no minor to Mpoa, or someone Tiasi. Now come is America, yet and never buy a money baby come and a modern and a Boston one. O man for taxpayers money and CC ha. Come back as America effect. Huh? Mom said the reality. And then NDC for or money guasia to the extent so when to chere adie bi on betra konya so moye. And then Mahama na aka hu bi, Ofosu Ampofo ka hu bi. E say the government man ka hwe. Dia be na mutimi ka o boss ho. What man ka hwe? E ka ye ka say mo say oh, ye betra konya so no. Ye design interventions we egu akwan I benefit all Ghanaians. This is free senior high school, a benefit to Ghana for Unina. This is one district, one factory, Ghana for Unina, one village, one dam, Ghana for Unina, for health insurance, Ghana for Unina. More can't be benefit to Ghana for Unina. Oh, now I did be a Tamale, you can't say, Kumasi airport, and they say, oh, be German someone there. Now, or yet international airport, or yet Kumasi airport on international. Very soon. Offer plane and Kusiku to International Airport, Ukukumase, and also Kusikumase, on our walk on. Also, mobile credit na more because only be biaka. Now, the most saddest aspect in this, and they Omuguso Castle man lose 2020 elections. When the political parties will bring the contest here, political parties in the IG to Sabatuano, the BI and French, Omalusu, Kama. Mama, the Muslim Lusu, more evidence or hate when the pig sheets. Mako do court, man to for pig sheets. Who say be German Muslim lose elections? Also, you didn't go see. A idea, or person discredited electoral commission. So NDC and so on, Omagu ayi judges ye anima ase awie omogu electoral commission so just say Ghana institutions be a wo Ghana e dey input to be body pabra bom no on person omogu o anima ase say hwe mo ka asem so na ade we parliament the e-levy says my parliament e-levy says what ha bruchire obi atua taxes e-levy no taxes e dey be sie Ghana mo se monte ase coronavirus buy na do adaro machine interventions Saudi go akwan mu and dem mo beje credit amam ho se enye mo hospital bi amusisi ya e kana na do corona buy ka went man so ano kwan but won e tro no hospital do say na busi ya na do say all the districts that were Ghana 111 districts will see hospital or modern hospitals e dia ma obia e no kra so e mo ya but the cost no Ghana my nei we dey di pefe say and this woman has some papa be a catch the Ghana. Or my baby drabble, come on, Muntimi, I itemize it, and Yama Mutimi. Doomson, the man come, Mocasamanca Doomson. A Jume company saying, good year, a month for you may feel monster. Marka was him, I didn't tell the Marka was him. Kawena can simple, Maka Mudunson as him, Maka company said, good year, Maka man for more children, Massam, the Ghana for neither a month manka. There's a mouse of the Muguasi. Ofosu Ampofo Mahama by just say omo for no be sia omo so so very disappointed because omo ati asem bia omo kai omo anti bibia omo anka bibia nipa be 1 2 3 4 5 bia koshia wase that's all omo anka bibia omo anka asem pa bia ediga na man mahu de ekoso da bia ya na eka se ade de ekoso a ohu wa mo hweda na do interventions odi gu akwan mu enema wodi gu akwam se be ya Ghana be fa ne ntuma pa efra no na hwe de NDC fo iso omoye wa begina aburuchire America mo kasa mo ntuma nka di papa bi a mo ye ne Ghana ankyere America fo na amafo si wo so bo mo nsem de ba de na omo ka se omo ye as compared to ne woti aburuchire mo ana mo ti program na si mo ma bi ko school fee mo ntua school fees bi NDC pe so omo ye mam NDC pe so omo ye mam obi anwene ho why na baby anana do di mine kono de o mine kono nim yie omo ti wo se na abato no man lusu eno ka na ma bufu kra no man lusu na mo ye den ana mo kwa na Ghana e bo ma mo se mo dia makwa elections man lusu woni man ti man collect mo resource yes ye de ano na ka se ye lusu ana evidence when I to say obi beg dia se beto Canada Japan aswa when evidence afa kokota ono akotro say yen this miss man no because and uniasim papa biaka. No, yeah, dear, for evidence and evidence. What can somebody evidence? Now, what's why we in elections? How do you win elections? The same Ofosu Mahama, how do you win elections? One contest elections, multiple quality results. More than I'm catching a gun and mine. Some more lawyers, polling stations, or more name dear, polling stations. Mokoya fe mu wi a collation kramantim ayikra pensions kwa kwa mofa so sesa yakra munim de moye na otie na sema onso mo ano oboka asem na bare omo Ofosu Ampofo say roju ene pesa white omoba Mahama ho no obi mo nipa yayi mamwo strong room mo hwese bibie ekoso kama eye de na mo free strong room ho uwie ya ye nyati ne biscuit anwe enema NDC omo ye nyina no enema pa na do edigu akwam aboro mo so ene wo be ka kire say e friend say ade we kura de say amambu e tese banchi aye kosobe Mahama ne be ka kire Ghana man say afei no wasua ne lesson first de say na omampanyina no e no nim say de ne sitie afei okote na akire no wasua lesson but who said de si bu oman that is why omambo na head of deck and what control exams are failing no was a baby one lose Ghana for who say impuntu ananado ye me say o ka say quantum na nipa bebere kotuma na de ekeka ho abatwe mukuro ya na mo say electoral commission abatwe no wa anya ne fair adenti na say de uko to the pie to man no e dey example some say abatwe no manwe ni na adenti na nipa onyan na muko to dey example Ghana for obi afanto ne trim and this woman had the papa bia mambo and they simahu omoba boss one who some abokai when some papa bianca but this will be so that the friend were drying that maybe dry let me dry na jam na me program ya mo ke cancel bisa just ordinary say o ma bahana be dwan o mo be kan na dey ba asem na obetima o ma asem ma kan ni baboy just be bia ni ade papa bia ni man this fotim ka kire Ghana man mo ka kire dey be ne goma mutim ka kire Ghana man dey ba dey na interventions pain no mutim di gu akwan mu me dey say am dey na that friend me da mo nyina say mo kire ne me rade enka obi a ojuma dey mo share live for YouTube Facebook dey announce newspaper so e dey akra mo o mo dey asem papa bia